All right. Hey, first and foremost, giving all praise to Yahweh, all praise, honor, and glory where it's due to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakwadash. Okay. And double honors to the elders and apostles, that great millstone of whom I learn from continually, daily. Okay. And a healthy shalom to the brothers that are out there doing the work. Okay. It's the brother Gabar Adama, and I stumbled across this from a brother that left a comment on my page. And we'll go to different pages and just look things over. But this is very interesting. I thought it was very interesting. So without further ado, I'm going to play some of this.
Favorite was land?
Yes, and I just saw flashes. Inside my eye. I'm Daniel Mandy, and I saw this silver thing in amongst this clump of trees with this one thing sitting on the side and another thing sort of like running up and down the top.
When you say thing, was it a form of some sort?
Yeah, it almost looked like a real person, except it was fairly plump. At first, I thought it was some boy from the compound playing around, but the hair it looked more like our hair. It wasn't curly. That thing almost looked like a hippie.
I saw the little black men. They had longish hair, and it was all.
The hair it looked more like our hair. It wasn't curly. That thing almost looked like a hippie.
I saw the little black men. They had longish hair, and it was all black, and they had.
All right, so you heard what she said. She said, I saw black men. All right. Now, what's going on here with the premise of this is, I believe there were 60 children at recess at a school somewhere in Africa, I believe. Okay. And they all saw this all at one time. All right. Which I believe was most definitely chariots. Okay. They saw a chariot come down, and they saw the men that were in those chariots, and they came down and got out and actually had interactions with them. Okay. Which are angels. Okay. So I'm going to read this. See if I can find what I want here. Yeah, let's read this in Ezekiel. Ezekiel 1 and verse 3. Okay. The word of the Lord Yahweh came expressly unto Ezekiel, the priest. All right. The son of Buzi. All right. In the land of the Chaldeans by the river of Chabar and Salakia. And the hand of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshua was upon him. Right. Okay. Let's keep reading that. Verse 4. All right. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind. Okay. There was another whirlwind that was spoken about in Exodus. Okay. And it provided, a light by night and guidance by day. It was a chariot, man. All right. It was a whirlwind. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud. See that? A great cloud, and fire enfolding in itself, and brightness was about it. Okay. And brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber. See, out of the midst thereof was the color of amber, and out of the midst of the fire. Okay. See, this is the best way they could explain what they were seeing. And it was a chariot, man. Okay. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. You see that? They had the what? The likeness of a man. And everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings. Verse 7, and their feet were like straight feet, and the sole of their feet were like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. You see that? And they did what? They sparkled like the color of burnished brass. All right. And that's what a so-called black man looks like. That burnished brass. Okay. All right. I'll continue on with this. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll continue on with this in a moment.
Longish hair, and it was all black, and they had big black eyes. That's all I saw. I saw a glimpse. They kind of turned around and stared, and then went back into a kind of like ship. There was like sort of one big one with quite a few little ones all scattered around.
You say they had big eyes. Show me with your hand. Eyes completely.
It was oval, kind of like that. There was his hair, and when he turned around, and then he...
Were you afraid?
Yes, I was. I did definitely see
What you saw?
what I saw.
I saw something silver on the ground amongst the trees and a person in black, and that's all I saw.
It was oval, kind of like that. There was his hair, and when he turned around, and then he...
Were you afraid?
Yes, I was. I did definitely see
What you saw?
what I saw.
I saw something silver on the ground amongst the trees and a person in black, and that's all I saw.
You saw a person alongside the silver thing.
Yes.
What did the silver thing look like?
It looked like a saucer, but the shape wasn't really round.
It was something quite new to you.
Yes,
Were you afraid?
yes.
What did you do? Did you run to fetch the teachers?
I stayed with the other children.
Oh, Emma Christensen. Yes. Yes, because your drawing was particularly interesting. You saw in your drawing, you've got not only the main object there, but you've got several others, but you've got several others, but you've got several others. Did you see these coming down?
I saw them disappear. They went 1 meter up from the ground, and then they just disappeared.
And you saw this creature?
Yes, he was very, very shiny black. Yes, he was very, very shiny black. Yes, he was very, very shiny black.
Okay, she said, see, I didn't record this before, but she said they were shiny black. Okay, shiny black. Now, I just left off in Ezekiel. Okay, and I'm going to read that again. Let's start with... let's start with verse 5 again. Okay, Ezekiel 1, verse 5. Also, in the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. See? And there was their appearance, and they had the appearance of a man. Okay? Verse 6, everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings. Verse 7, and their feet, it's Salakia, and their feet were straight feet, okay? And the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. They did what? Sparkled like the color of burnished brass. What'd she say? What'd she say? All right, let's go back. They did what? They sparkled like the color of burnished brass. Okay, so let's go back.
Yes, he was very, very shiny black. Yes, he was very, very shiny black. Yes, he was very, very shiny black. Kind of suit.
Have you ever seen the divers
You see that?
going to the sea?
It was like that. It was tight-fitting.
Did you see his face?
I only saw a glimpse of it. I only remember that his eyes were quite big.
Were you afraid?
I was...
These fillet.
Well, I saw a silver thing. It was shaped. It was lying down like this on the side, and I saw a black man. He was dressed in black, and he had big eyes.
Show me with your hand how big the eyes
They were
were.
shaped like something like that. I saw it. Yes, I was standing over there and I moved over there because I saw the same one, but you could see it from both directions.
A lot of individuals about their experiences, but there's something about talking with, a group that has collectively experienced the same thing. In the case where we spoke with young children who had experienced a visitation from 2 UFOs, and the 2 beings who had hovered over their playground during recess. This was at a small secondary school outside Harare in Zimbabwe, and 60 children at recess had seen these 2 UFOs hover, 2 alien beings come out. And I even remember how one little girl described it to me. She said it was as if they were kind of floating above the grass towards us, or hopping across the grass towards us. And in this case, I remember John's voice very specifically as he asked one little girl. And John said, well, what would you call these things that you saw? And she'd say, I'd call them aliens.
In September 1994, over 60 children from this school in the suburbs of Harare, Zimbabwe, witnessed several objects landing and 2 beings coming out. Just over 2 months later, John and Dominique came to the scene to work with the children, their parents, and the teachers still suffering from shock. John, who essentially specialized in child psychiatry, devoted a great deal of time to interviewing the children.
Something scared you, is that right?
Yes.
What scared you?
The noise.
What noise?
The noise that we heard in the air.
You heard a noise in the air? What was it like? Like a roar or a buzz or a hum, or what kind of a noise?
It was like someone was blowing a flute. I was scary myself.
It was scary because you saw something yourself?
Yes, I saw little objects hovering. It was quite big actually, and then there was little ones all around it. We saw something silver, and then we quickly ran to the logs, and we saw the silver thing, and we saw a man standing next to it.
What did it feel like when he was looking at you?
Felt scared.
What was scary about it?
Well, felt scared because I've never seen such a person like that before.
Did you see the eyes? What did they look like?
They were going like that.
Where was the pointy part? Was the pointy part in here, or was the pointy part out there? Up there. What was the feeling when you looked at the eyes?
It was scary.
Why? What made it scary?
The eyes looked evil.
Evil. And what was evil about them?
It looked evil because it was just staring at me.
Staring at you as if what?
As if it wanted to come and take us.
As if it wanted to come and take you. That was the feeling you got? Did you feel like you wanted to go with it? No. What was the effect on you when you felt it wanted? What was the effect on you when you felt it wanted to have you go with it?
I just walked away and I started crying.
They came running up here in such a panic. And, I mean, even if we had staged it, they could not have run all together like that. Even if we practiced it, I don't know how many times. But they came up here like a living snake. And they just came, we were in a staff meeting, and we just heard them screaming, ah, when they were here, you know. And a child can't make that up.
I was very skeptical in the beginning as well. I believed that they'd seen something, but I wasn't prepared to accept that it was anything supernatural or anything like that.
So both of them were running. One was running in the trees, and the other one was running across the ship. Because there were also trees here.
The eyes were like more pointed as they came in toward the center of the head, is that?
No, more circular. And this was all black in here.
All black. Now you've made pupils. Did they actually have pupils, or was
The
it
pupils were white.
What?
The pupils were white like that.
You saw white in the center?
Yes, like that. No, on top.
On top of the silver object. Okay. Did you look at him?
Yes.
Did he look at you?
Yes, then he gave me the creeps, and I took
Gave you
it.
the creeps.
What I thought was maybe the world's going to end. Maybe they're telling us the world's going to end.
Well, why do you think they might want us to be scared?
Because maybe because we don't look after the planet and the air properly.
Is this an idea that you...
Okay. So they said this is the end of the world. See that? See how they said that? It's the end of the world because what? It's because they didn't take care of the earth properly. Okay. Now who's done that? Who's ruined the air? Who's ruined the water? Who's crafty council has tried to ruin the children of Israel, man. But see, he left a remnant. Okay? He left a remnant. Keep going.
Have had before that we don't look after the planet properly in the air, or did this idea come to you when you had this experience?
When I had this experience.
And how did that idea come to you from this experience? This is a little hard, but try to be with me here, okay? How did this idea come to you when you had this experience?
I just felt all horrible inside.
You felt horrible. At what point did you feel that? When you saw the craft, or when you got home at night? Or
When I got home.
You had that horrible feeling when you got home?
Yes.
And say more about that horrible feeling, Lisa. What was it like?
It was like in the world, all the trees would just go down and there would be no air and people would be dying.
Mm-hmm. And those thoughts came to you, had you had those thoughts before this experience?
No.
No. And how did those thoughts come to you? Did they come to you from the craft or from...
From the man.
The man. And did the man say those things to you? How did he get that across to you?
Well, he never said anything. It's just that the face is the eyes.
What was the sense you got from those eyes?
He was interested.
They describe these experiences or these events like...
Yeah, so now if you'll notice, they keep glossing over the Edomites, if you will, keep glossing over the fact that these beings were black. Okay, they were black. And I remember there was a video of an older Edomite gentleman, or older Edomite guy, that was explaining what he's seen, and he said they were black. He said they were big, tall, black angels. Okay, here's part 4.
A person talks about something that has happened to them. When you're talking with a psychotic who's telling you something and it's a delusion and you feel that it really didn't happen, I can tell. I mean, I know this is something that person wants me to believe, or they're frightened, or they're distorting reality in some way. There's nothing like that here. These are people of sound mind, by and large, telling me something that's they know that I might think they're crazy, and so they're a little concerned about telling me, and they're very full of questioning themselves and doubt, and I mean, and then they describe something very real and intense, a light or something happened to their body, or it's the whole quality of the way they talk about it is the way a person talks about experience that happened to them.
It was silver.
Experience that happened to them.
It was silver, and the ring around it was red.
Was red.
The ring around it was red.
Was red.
The ring around it was red.
Was red. Did light come from the whole thing, or?
There are lights around here.
How many of the strange beings did you see?
I saw one over here. They had eyes like that, and they were kind of just like looking at us. They were like kind of astonished at what we were.
But they believed the aliens had an ominous message.
Fungi, what do you imagine is his reason for visiting Earth?
I think it's about something that's gonna happen.
Something's gonna happen.
It was making me all scared. My heart was now starting to pump faster, and it was making me all woozy now.
Oh, wizzy?
Woozy. My heart kind of.
Yes, something is going to happen, as it is written, man. See, something is going to happen, man. The water, how about Shim Yao Shah? All right, so let's go to Ezekiel Let's see. This is what I wanted. Yes. Ezekiel 10 and verse 21. All right. Everyone had 4 faces apiece. Okay. And everyone 4 wings, and the likeness of the hands of man was under their wings. Okay. Let's keep going. And let's see, 22. Yeah. And the likeness of their faces were the same faces, right, which I saw by the river of Chabar. Okay. Their appearances and themselves, and they went everyone straight forward. Okay. No, I want a 20. That's what I want. A Salakia. All right. Verse 20, 10 and verse 20. This is the living creature that I saw under the God of Israel by the river of Chabar. Okay. And I knew that they were the cherubs. Okay. The cherubs. Yeah, something's going to happen. So let's look that word up.
Cherub.
Cherub. All right. A winged angelic being in biblical tradition as attending on the Most High. All right. It is represented in ancient Middle Eastern as a lion or a bull with eagles. Okay. Anyway, I got what I wanted out of that. Cherub, a winged angelic being described in biblical tradition. Okay. All right. Yeah, something's going to happen. This is going to happen. Revelation 1 and verse 7. Okay. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. Okay. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. All right. Revelation 14. Let's see. Yeah, Revelation 13, it's like 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. You see that? Let's go to verse 10. And what is his mark? We know the MOB. All right. That's going to be his mark, man. All right. And the number is 606 score and 60, or 60 and 6 score. If I got that wrong, Salakia. It's 666. Okay. The same shall drink of the wine of wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture, in the cup of his indignation. You see, several of them they were terrified and said, I don't want to go with them. You see? Okay. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Uh-oh. See that? Every eye shall see him, right? Uh-huh.
Went faster and then slower and then faster and then slower. All at the same time.
What time of day did this event occur?
At break time.
Break time in the morning or lunch break?
Morning.
Morning break. And what were you doing at the time?
Well, I was playing in the playground, and then we saw something silver, and then we quickly ran to the logs, and we saw a silver thing, and we saw a man standing next to it. They were just like looking at all of us. They seemed to have stiff necks. They didn't seem to move their necks like we can.
How tall would you guess they were?
They were about my size.
About your size?
His eyes looked at me as if, I want to, and things like that.
I want to what?
I want you.
I want you.
Yeah. They weren't frightened of us. They actually came near. And they didn't try to attack.
They didn't act in an unfriendly way, you mean?
No. Then he was looking at me back. I couldn't just keep on looking at him, so I had to stop and I looked sideways, so he couldn't keep on making me feel faint. I think they want people to know that we're actually making harm on this world and we mustn't get too technologed.
Would you like to see him again?
Yes.
You would like to see him again? Do you think you might see him again?
I don't know.
And if you saw him again, what would you do?
I'll ask him some questions.
What would you like to ask him?
I'll ask him what is he doing on Earth and what does he want with us.
Someone were to say, well, this is imagination, this is a dream. How is it different from imagination or dream as you experienced it?
Well, it's definitely reality. And anybody can think that it's not true or that we're making things up, but we know what we've seen and we believe it. I believe in it because I did see it.
And we saw two people that were in black, tight black suits, and they had big eyes. And a small, we didn't actually see their nose, they were quite small, and their mouth was quite small as well. One of them was running in slow motion up across the ship, and the other one was standing beside the ship. Couldn't see the eyes or the nose or the mouth, it was just blank. An airplane. And I looked up and I thought to myself, that can't be an airplane because it was very shiny. It looked kind of like a cigarette. It looked kind of like a cigarette. It looked kind of like a cigarette. You know, it was a long thing, and then on the end it was all shiny. And so I said, maybe it is a UFO. So we were all kind of like getting scared now. And then the day that it happened, then we started thinking, yeah, there must have been a UFO in the sky.
You saw one UFO that's surrounded by little ones?
Yeah, one big one. One spaceship.
Yeah?
Little ones around.
Yeah, let me see. The big one landed, and the two aliens came out.
Yes.
And what happened with the little ones?
The little ones, they were just floating around in the air. They didn't they didn't have to go in the air next to them.
And these made you feel alive?
Yeah. They were like in different color lights. Like green, they flash to green, then they go to blue, and then they go to purple and red. But it was like it was going like each one to each one, but quickly. Like you go, like they go there and then it vanish, and then it go there and vanish, and then it vanish.
Oh, really?
They're going quickly. Like as if it was one ship moving. Yeah. Spaceship had landed, all the insects and ants and stuff like that were all dead, and there was a huge black mark there. Other people came to the school and they went out the boundary of the playground and they went to go and see what had happened there, and they saw that the grass was burnt and all the living things had died there in that area. I drew it on a paper and I said, Daddy, this is what it looked like. And then he drew it well and he said, Michael, I think you're telling the truth now.
Who was scared? Not all of you, huh? Who was dreaming about it since then?
In a bad way?
Yeah, in a bad way?
Yes, I used to, but then after about a year I stopped dreaming about it.
Mm-hmm.
I dreamt that the same one I saw, without her, he came into my bedroom and he took me from my bed, and I just screamed. I woke up and screamed.
Why do you all think these aliens came, especially here in Aruba? Have you any idea?
I think they came to examine what it looked like, because even though you can see it from probably where they are, but they want to come take a closer look how the grass grows, how the trees grow. People are saying that the aliens came to warn us or something
is going to happen, that something bad is going to happen to the earth. To try and warn us that the children, because we're young, we've got a long time till we die, to warn us that when we're older, there's something going to happen to the earth. Yeah, not to pollute. Because we're young, we can still prevent it.
Sighting, although we do not fully understand what happened, there was something definite that did occur there that was out of the ordinary. It was not a regular day at school.
Yeah, I think if there was one experience I'd like to relive, it would be that particular experience.
It really does stick with me that something happened, something was out there, and the kids saw it.
He has never stopped talking about it. He has never stopped talking about it. And he has believed all the time that it did happen.
I think something definitely happened, yeah, for sure. But it was just that picture that it'll never go out of my mind, was the face and just the craft, you know, they'll always be there.
We met up on many occasions after that.